Hi everyone. Let's move this a bit. Should have done this before I started, shouldn't I? So this is an update video. A lot of you will know all this information. If you've been watching me for a while, you'll know a lot of this information anyway. But I'm going to kind of recap a little bit for people who haven't seen. I'm hoping to get this video seen by quite a few people. So it's just an introduction of who I am. So I'll put a message where you can skip to, okay, to get to the interesting stuff. Got some good news. The software, which I'm going to show later on, has come on quite well. And so I thought I'd do a video to update it, etc. So, first of all, I'm actually going to swap my script around a little bit here. I'm going to thank people first. I've been really liking this project, which has started out at the top. It's still a hobby, but it's a hobby that pays for itself now. And I've had so many people who've been so nice. Some just being very supportive, some just being buying products. And it's been great fun doing this. So I want to thank everybody. I'm going to thank one particular company in a minute as well. But it's generally been very good, and I don't think I've ever had any bad messages, to be fair. And you kind of open yourself up, and so that's really nice. So I do want to thank everyone for that. It makes this all worthwhile. But of course, especially as people who actually invest their hard-earned money into this project, which is really good. Anyway, let's move into the introduction now. A little bit of history. Okay, so it must be nearly a year ago now. My very first rig, let's do the first bit. I wanted the 360 video rig, and you could buy the Freedom 360, which is a very fine rig. And some GoPros, but it was a bit out of my, not it was out of my league. I could afford it, but it was, really that much money. It was so much money. So I kind of, I can do better, or as good. And I started it, and I spent a little bit of time. There's a history thing about how it started, but eventually I got to this. Okay, and I used these cheap little cameras, SJ4000s. They're really nice. They're about £30 each at the time. And so I started out making this, and this is a 12. This is the before I gave it all up. This is the ultimate bit, and it had 12 cameras on it, and it could do 360. But 12 cameras, I mean, it was just ridiculous. And that was because these had a very small field of view. Anyway, so that was the first one. Really expensive. Okay, and then I did some more work, and then I found the Xiaomi's. The little Xiaomi cameras, the original Xiaomi's, which are absolutely wonderful. And I ended up, after another prototype, which is sitting over there, can you see? Yeah. I ended up with the Brahma 6, and this is the second version of the original Brahma 6, and this one is actually really what kicked everything off. You can put 6 Xiaomi cameras in it, and I wrote some software, and it made a really, really good little rig. And to be honest, you can build this for about £400, £450 at the time. The rig's at the moment, it's gone up a little bit in price. The rig's about £120, and then the cameras were about £50 each. I think they've gone to about £75. They're getting quite expensive, but started everything off, and a lot of people bought these, which is really nice. And I did another version, which is called the 7, which is actually my favourite. I like this layout because you have 2 on the top, and then you have vertical seams around the side, and it's really nice. And that's kind of evolved over time. Anyway, then I found the Git 2 cameras, which were 4K, and in fact kind of similar architecture to the SJ4000s. And I built rigs for that. So that's, if you look on the right on there, you can see the latest rigs, and you can see there's the Duet, and you can see in the middle there's the Brahma 6 and then the Brahma 7. So they kind of all gone up, and as you can see, these they've been doing very well. But I actually now, whereas before I used to sell the rigs on Shapeways page, which I'll show you my Shapeways page here. So I have a Shapeways page, and you can see you're not going to scroll there, are you? So you can see on here, this is my site, and let's click on the shop. So there's tons of stuff in there I do, but I don't put the Git 2 rigs on there because I sell them complete. So pretty much up to speed. So for the rigs, I've now got what I'm concentrating on now. Ye4K new rig actually works for the Ye4K. It's not on the site. Oh no, I'll tell you, yes, it is. It is on Shapeways. You can buy that, and you can use any new Ye4Ks. I haven't moved personally over to them because the original plan was to try and make it an economical rig, and the Git 2s are £100 and the Xiaomi Ye4Ks are about £250 each. So back we started, like with and of course the Git 2s offer more functionality. So I'm sticking with Git 2s. I still think they're the best in my mind. Right, so you've seen the rigs. During all this time, I've been working on software, and as some of you know, I've got I had some software out there which allow you to control. They were designed for the 6s and 7s and 8s and so on, but designed to control the rigs, and so that's been doing quite well. But I later moved into one. My ultimate aim was always now. Everything I'm going to say is not meant as an insult to other companies out there. However, one of the big problems at the moment is this little rig here, the little Brahma Duet, comes in about £480. Okay, it's going to go up to 500 because of exchange rate stuff, but it's £500. But then you have to spend £600 on the software, which it's a lot of money. So I've spent quite a lot of time working on, for example, this can live stream. I live stream with this on YouTube in 360. But I also wanted to do things like be able to capture videos and process and all that kind of thing. And what I'm going to show you today is where we are on that now. I'm just going to switch over to the other screen. If I can find the button. There we go. Right. I'm going to load that up. Right. So what we've got here now, as you can see, this is Brahma 360 Studio. And this is a mixture of things. This is a control system. In fact, I might split this out into two products, one for controlling the cameras and one for everything else. But I actually quite like it in one place. And it shows, obviously, I'm concentrating on which bits I'm concentrating. Now, certain parts of software, for example, Brahma Studio and the record button, are only to do with the duets. And this is for many, many reasons. So if you've got the Brahma 6s or the Xiaomi 6, you still need to use AVP, okay? Anyway, so let's step through this. So what we've got here now is, if you look on the left hand or left and right, you can see we've got the two rigs. So you choose which cameras you're going to use. You've got the white one, which is the Xiaomi's, and you click on that, and you can see the three different rigs. And you can go in, you can set them up, and you can just you put in your IP addresses and so on. So you set that up. Yes. Set that up and you can go in and run. Now, I don't think these are actually set up. So it wants me to set it up. So there we go. Now, I'm going to go into the other one, which is the Git 2. And the Git 2 is pretty much exactly the same thing, the 2, 6 and 7. And if I click on the Git 2s, again, I can set these rigs up. So if I click on the 7 this time, you see there's a lot of IP addresses. There's also a button up, it says auto scan, but that's part of a tutorial somewhere else. Now, as you can see, it says here up to 18 cameras. Both control systems can control up to 18 cameras, and they work over Wi-Fi. So there's a lot of tutorials about this, but basically you have to connect each camera to the Wi-Fi router. Now, that can either be a hub, or you're using your mobile phone, which can have this app on it. So you run the app on here, and you control it over Wi-Fi. So, for example, if I click on here, up comes the page. You can see there's two cameras, and it tells me to switch to photo mode. And I can now at the moment I'm in recording. I can start and stop recording. Excuse me, I'm just having a drink. So this control. So that's not really why I want to show you. What I want to show you is the features. Now, some of this has been existing already, but everything's been enhanced. So let's start with just the player. Now, this software is not free, first of all. If you buy one of my rigs, you get the control software. You can use the control software for free. If you buy a Brahma Duet, you get access to all of this because it's basically made for the Brahma Duet. So you get the software included in the rig. Everything you see. So if you buy a Brahma Duet, you'll get everything you see. we are going to try and support other rigs and well, as far as two-way cameras are concerned, we're going to try and support other rigs out there. But we're working on that slowly. But at the moment, concentrating Brahma Duet, because I think they're fantastic. I mean, I just absolutely do. So anyway, let's get started. Now, the one thing that is free is the media player. So if I click on media player, okay, I'll tell you one thing I might want to do. Let me just bear with me just 1 second. I just want to turn the volume down because I have a funny feeling it might be really loud. So let me put that back up again, right? Okay, so this is the media player. Now, if I press V, let's do it with a video. Right, so what I've got here is in the media player, if I press F1, it opens up a selector, and I can go around, look all around my computer, and I can go and find videos, and here's output videos, and I can select that, press select, and it will start playing, okay? Now, if I want to put this into a VR headset, it depends on how this is configured, but if I press V, you see it splits into two. If you're going on mobile and you're using the cardboard, it does proper changes, etc. So that's that. Oh, that's finished as well. Now, let me load up one more. Cafe select. Here we go. Right. So we can see now we've got the video. Now, hopefully it's not too quiet. No, I think that'd be okay. Right. So you can see this video now. Let me pause. Let me just go back to the color bars. We also have in here. You can set up now hotkeys. So basically, each one of these panels, the left-hand panel matches to your number pad, and the right-hand one matches to your numbers above the QWERTY keyboard. So the right-hand ones are for video. So you've got 10 slots for video and 10 slots for pictures. Now, for this, it doesn't really mean a big deal, but when I'll show you the Brahma, the actual studio side, the live streaming, you can call these in as you go, which I'll show you later on. But anyway, so I can press, for example, so you can see this now. If you had your headset on, see, turn around, you'd be able to look all around. And this is like this is a media player system. Okay, it's included in the kit. I can jump into another one. All the way up. Right. So that's the media player. Very basic, just so you can consume content, okay? Regardless of what system this is on. Now the software does work. It's designed to work on Windows, Mac, Android. At some point, iOS. At the moment, I'm concentrating on Windows because I'm trying to get this software finished. It is available on Android for the control side and some of these features, but I will at some point roll out everything to the platforms. So let's go back. If I press escape, it takes me back to the main panel. So let's now look at the Brahma Studio, which some of you have seen. This is to do with the live streaming. So if I click on that, you'll notice it says scanning cameras because it's actually looking. If you look here, you can see this is the rig. Now, if you notice on that, it's going to be a bit difficult to see this. It does take about 10 seconds to check for the cameras. There you go. So if you see on here, I've got little tiny lenses. In fact, I've got the covers on. I've got little tiny lenses. But I know it's difficult to see, but you can see these have got big ones. These are enter panos. In fact, let me just switch over to here so you can actually see what I mean. Right. If you see this lens here, see it's a lot bigger. Right. Let's go back. Right. These are the enter pano ones, which I'm going to come on to at the end. I'm going to thank this company. Right. So now we're in the studio. Now, what's special about the studio? The idea is that you can, what you see here, mixed with XSplit broadcast, everything can be streamed live to YouTube, and when people go on to YouTube through the link, they get a 360. I'm looking there at me, looking at them. They get a 360 view of the world, which they can look all around, put it on a headset, and so on. So it's live 360 streaming. So everything you're going to see on the screen would be then wrapped around you if you went to YouTube and consumed it. So we've got here the basics is where you come in, start. Obviously, this is before anything happens. Now, you notice I've got a whole bunch of, it's all hotkey based at the moment because it's all on single screen. So you can see there's a whole bunch of F1 keys. This is to make life easy. So the F1 keys have certain function. Sorry, the function keys have certain function. The numbers, again, if you remember rightly, this panel here, this is where this really comes into its own. So you can jump between pictures, videos, and live stream. So let's turn that off. or you wouldn't really want to do this during a presentation, obviously, hence the hotkeys. So let's hide those for now. So now we've just got purely the screen, and I want to load up. I have an ident that we set. So for example, this has been an ident. This is actually a video that was created using the Brahma 6 Xiaomi rig, and I really like it, so it kind of stayed. In fact, let me just have a look quick, see which one that was. Cafe, yeah, yeah, it's on 4, right. So I want to watch that video, so I press 4, and now it starts. But now obviously everything that you're seeing here would be streaming. It's not now because I'm just showing you it, but it would be streaming live, and I have some videos showing me doing this, and this streams live to YouTube, which everyone can watch in their headsets. Okay, so that's really nice, and we can then jump from there. We can go into another video. So we've got these videos in here. I happen to like stream them. We can watch the girls dance. Right. So what I want to do now is I want to just show a couple of pictures. So I want to break from that, and then it will then load up pictures. I can skip through my pictures. They do take about 3 or 4 seconds. I'm going to change this. But you can see some pictures. Now, what you're probably thinking, well, where's the video? So if I press F6, now you can see the video, okay? So this is a live stitched version of these coming from the Entepano cameras, as you can see here. Okay, now it does work equally as well with this. The quality is better with the Entepanos though, okay, because they're much better lenses. They're quite expensive as well. They're actually worth the money, but these are great to get you started. But you do notice the quality, especially if you look at some of the pictures. They're a lot sharper in this. So I've got some examples footage on my YouTube channel which you can see this. So now what you're seeing is a live stream. Now this will be streamed live, and people will be able to see it, view it in their mobile phones. They can put it on their headsets, and they would see this as a 360 world. Okay. Now if you look on the, let me just see if I touch it. Can you see the stitching? The stitching between the two is something we've been working on obviously quite a lot, and it's improving over time. It's not perfect, it's improving over time. But if you look, what I'll do is I'll move this a little bit. So if you look to my left, here, watch that stitch line. If you watch it going across, can you see that? So it's actually not too bad at all. Okay. So the stitching is coming on quite well. Now, the thing about this is you do need people about 5-6 foot away from the camera, and I'll show you exactly why. So if I go over here, can you see? I'm standing. Let me get on the stitch line. Right? Can you see? So from here, but as I get closer, because of the problems with parallax, can you see it can't cope with it? So you need to be back. You need a bit of distance between the cameras. Okay. Other people have said they've cured this with using 3 cameras and so on, but I've got to be honest, I've not seen any improvement. But you know, that maybe that's just me. Just to prove this is live stitching, I'm going to do this, so you can see this is being done live. Okay. So that will be feeding out to the YouTube network. Now, at some point, hopefully, I'm going to support other networking infrastructures, and it would be nice maybe to talk to them to discuss this, because it's just streaming data. It's also streaming the maximum that YouTube can handle at the moment, which is 2,560 by 1440 at 30 frames a second. So it's maximum what YouTube can handle. Okay, the system's capable of more. So if you've got the set up accordingly, we can actually go higher than that. We can go 4K if you want to, and the software is more than capable of doing that. But the 256 by 1440 actually matches the cameras very well, because the data that's coming in is about 1440, just over. So it actually works out really nice. You're not wasting, you're not scaling up kind of thing. So, and I haven't seen anything, to be honest, really, that's going to massively improve on that. So I think that's quite nice at the moment, and anyone can do this from home, so which is also really good. So that's the live stitching. Let's jump out of that now. Okay, now come to the new bit, and no one's seen this yet. This is new, and I've left this to the end because this is the bit I'm hoping, where I'm not saying all, And this is not, I'm not aiming this at the moment. I'm not saying this is a full pro system, but for people who want to get started and don't want to spend £600 on AVP or video stitch, and they just want to get started, they want to be able to create videos, do pictures, and etc, and do some live streaming, you do not now need this. You do not need AVP, but only I'm sorry about this, but only if you buy this rig. And if you say to me, can you work on other software, I'm hoping to support other systems, but I don't have them, so it's very hard to support them. But any supplier out there, if you create a 2-camera rig and you would like access to this software, I only need even just a loan of the software, the hardware, because then I can build it into this software and then it can be supported. And I do want to license this software out, just to be fair. Right, so let's actually show you this now, what we can do. So you press the great big. Now the design of this is going to change quite a lot. It's going to have to change. But anyway, so what we can see here now is we've come into it, and you can see at the top there's two tick boxes. It says N-to-9 lens, telecine lens. So by default, these come with telecine lenses at it's going to go up to £499. So let's say £499. I am considered, actually, to be fair, going over to everything but dollars, but that's another story. Anyway, so £499 includes everything you're seeing today. Okay, as far as software and that rig. So but what you're actually watching is this one, which has got N-to-9s. Now that comes up to probably more like $899 because the lenses are quite expensive. But you have to make your decision about, do you want to go step up the quality even further. If you look at my site, you'll see that live streaming, these are great lenses, but they're not as good as these. They're just not. So you're stepping up to more of a pro level. But I still don't want to change the cameras. Okay, there's many other cameras out there, but they can't do what I can do with these. All right, not without spending a lot of money. So I can do this with just the standard cameras. Well, I'm waffling again. Right, so because I've got the N-to-9 rig connected, I don't want to use the telecine one, obviously. So if I tick on, what I do is I click on the N-to-9 lens, and I've chosen it for this session. So now what you can already see, you can see a picture that's loaded in. Now I want to load in a video that I've pre-created. So I'm going to go and find. Now this is what I'm doing now. Normally what you have to do is you have to find these and drop these onto Enterpano and then mess around with it. You have to set the whole thing up, etc. Oh, hang on, what am I doing? I'm doing the wrong one. I've moved these to make it easier for me, and I'm not even noticing it. Right, so you can see here I've got some videos. Enterpano. Right. So now what I want to do is in the front box, I want to put the front, and in the back, the back. Now, as long as you know which is the front and back video, it doesn't matter. Okay. So they're now both loaded. I'll just press the button and stitch. Okay. Okay. I thought I'd do a quick trial. This is now live stitching, just to prove. It's running a recording in 1920. Okay, so you can play around with it. Yes. The reason for this is so do what you want to do with it. Move it across. Now, at the moment, it's a start, play, and record. Now, what you do is you then, if I was to press F9, and you'll see something come across there. Oh no, it's not actually appearing on here. That's handy. Which is it's actually saying that NVIDIA is now recording. So if you've got an NVIDIA machine, you can use GeForce Experience and it will actually record this. Now at the moment it's only 1080p, but what I do is I use XSplit Broadcast and I record what's on this whole screen, because what you're looking at here, you can see this main big bit is a whole screen, and that's running at 25, 60, 1440. So it will record that live to your hard disk. You've then got video. So there are more tools coming. If you press the buttons together at the same time, they start okay. But I'm going to have so you can tweak the start, so you can get the thing right, especially if you've got moving videos kind of thing, so you can sequence them up, get that right. But you can see, whilst I'm not saying the stitching is perfect, if you look here, you can see the stitch line down there. Or more to the point, you can see it actually here. Here's the stitch line. And if you look over, you can just about see it up here. Let me just drop this down actually. Okay. But so that's a live video, and you can tell it's actually looping at the moment. Now, that's that. Now, say you want to, I'm going to reload this. I'm just going to come back out and go back in again. I will show you the next bit. So you've seen that. I think the only reason I'm doing this is because I've got a feeling I'm not stopping the video when I do this, because this is not released yet. It's going to be released in a few days. Click on the N-to-9 lenses again, and this time I'm going to load a couple of pictures. Okay, so I go into videos, telecine, sample images, and I'm going to load a couple of images. Now I may get these around the wrong way. Yes, thanks very much. I may get, thanks very much again. So I've loaded two videos, pictures, sorry. I click on the two pictures. Oh, that's a bit like, look. So I've now taken two pictures. These are straight out, and they're circled, yeah. And the software's just gone ping. Okay, opened them up, and now you can. So you can now press. If I press S, it's now saved. Now if I switch over to this screen, you can now see that picture that I took. Was that the picture I just took? No, oh no, that one. You can now see. Let me just pull this over here. Yeah, so you can see the picture I took. That's just saved. So that's all that's needed. Okay, let me just scoot back. All you need to do is tell it the front picture, the back picture, bang, save. It's as simple as that. Now, I also have some software that will do smoothing. So you can run it through, but it's not ready to release yet. So it's in-house. I call it in-house software. If you've been following the project, you'll see this. I'm hoping to improve this even further by doing some smoothing. But again, this is an ongoing process for me. But I think hopefully you can see that now what we can do is we can create. You can create videos. You can create the pictures. You can stream live video. You can have everything you want. You can do a production which you can bring in pre-recorded videos, images, live streams. You can even have two cameras online at the same time. You can have one, which this one here, as a cabled connection, and a floating Wi-Fi connection version, which you can walk around with, and you can cut that in. It does an awful lot in this software. So now, let me just go back to the page. So what does the software cost? So, well, as I was saying, if you buy one of these rigs, okay, they're £499. They're £479 at the moment, but they're going to go up to £499. You get all this software for free, but it's tuned for these cameras, either with the Interpano lenses or these lenses. Now, I hope to support other lenses and other cameras later on, but at the moment, this is what they support. Once we go outside, or if you've already, if say for example, you've already got these cameras, you don't want to buy the cameras and the rig, that's fine, because what we do is we sell you the software for £100. Now it's important to understand this. I'm trying to make this software available to everyone who can afford it, but of course I'm trying to build a very small business and grow. For normal users, it's £100 or free with this. If you're a studio or a company and you want a support contract, the price is going to bump up. We will have support contracts, and the reason for that is obviously you get much more my attention. You understand. It's a support. I'm doing it that way to make it cheaper for everyone to get onto the page, rather than having to pay this extortionate amount of money people are paying for these things. So, okay, hopefully that's kind of gone through everything. I hope it's impressed you. I don't know. If you, I forgot. I've got to say this. Right, this is very important. Enternaya. I spoke to the guys at Interpano, and I said, I wanted a discount on a couple of lenses. I was going to be sneaky, say, can I have a discount on lenses? They sent me 2 lenses for free. No questions. And because they like what I'm doing, well, I'm assuming they like what I'm doing. I cannot, I can't. It's hard to put into words how thankful I am, because it's proved putting really good lenses on these little cameras has supercharged them, and really increased the quality. So it is more expensive. I'm not going to, there's no point lying, but there's certain people can afford the cost, okay, and it's aimed at them. But if you're just beginning, you've only got 400 or 500 quid. Get started with that. You can buy the lenses separately. I mean, the lenses probably cost the same as the whole rig, to be fair, but you're going up to a different level. I would say realistically, you're going up like 25% quality and resolution. You get a bump in resolution and quality and everything, so you do get a good, you know, a better all-round product. But I just want to thank everyone about that, because it really surprised me. I just expected them to say, well, oh, we'll give you free shipping or something, but no, they just sent me the things, and that means a lot. So yeah, that's it. So if you make other rigs, if you make other lenses, etc. If you're interested, you don't have to give me them. You can, if you want me to support them in the software, I would need a loan of it, and I will send them back, and then we'll put support in for it. Because the way we work is, I can't tell you everything about it, but basically it's a mesh-based system, and I just need to set the meshes up for the lenses. Okay. Now, one little thing that is going to come along soon is a way for you to configure your lenses, but that's it's still just in case getting around time to do it. So hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. But this version of software I'm going to release in the next day or two. So anyone who's already got a Brahma Duet, you'll be able to download this software and play with it. That's it, really. Can't think of much else to say, but which is not like me. Is there anything else? Yeah. One little thing. Brahma. People who've got these the 6 and the 7 here. No, down there. Oh, excuse me. The prices are going up. Okay. I can't help that. The dollar is crucifying me because of this Brexit. I don't want to get political, but it's killing me because of the dollar's dropped and it's become very expensive. So I am going to put the prices up. I'm considering going into charging by the dollar, because I may change over to charging by dollar. I haven't decided on that yet, but the price is going to go up. But I'm going to increase what they have. So for example, with the 6, when the price does go up, some of you may have seen the little remote cable you can get. It's a little circuit board with 6 cables that come out, plug into all the cameras and the HDMI ports. It doesn't go in the USB, it's the HDMI ports. And there's a button: start video, stop video, take picture. And if you set them all the cameras up like a 10-second delay, press take a picture, run away, takes a picture. Brilliant for photography, amazing. Likewise on that, actually. Let me finish. I'll come back to that. On the 7 and 8, you can either use 2 of these. I won't be including them, but I'll be doing them separately because they are very, very good. We're looking into ways of maybe just using 1 to control all 8. But that's what you're going to be getting with the new versions when the price goes up. So you're kind of going to get more for your money. Oh, and I'm probably going to upgrade from 16 gig cards to 32 gigs because the 16 gigs are disappearing and the 32s are ones that are kind of taking their place, and they're a little bit more expensive, but it's all kind of balancing out. But there you go. One more thing. I harp on about this, and I think this, you know, my honest, I won't say humble opinion, because I think this, for most, especially beginners, the best one you can get, because not only can it do brilliant true with these lenses, it can do 4K with these lenses video, okay, but it's the fake 4K, you know, the 3840 by 1920. It does that, okay, in 24 frames a second, to be fair, but it does that. With these lenses, it goes up to about 4300 by 2160, but you have to scale that down to 4096 by 2048. But the pictures you get out of this with the telecine lenses about 6-7K, really nice quality pictures. But this amazing photographs. Okay, you get some really good photographs at like 8K. So no, it's just fantastic. So I'm a massive fan of these. You can probably tell because the 6 and the 7s. I don't get time. I don't get time to actually film, which is really quite sad. Actually, I don't get time to actually go out and use these devices. But I build them for people who actually know what they're doing and create, good videos. And you can see that when you go and see some of the stuff that's been done with it. But yeah, so thank you very much. I think that's about all. I can't think of anything else to say now. But hopefully you like the new video recording. I'm not saying don't buy AVP, but all what I am saying is, if you can now buy a Brahma duet, and if you've got a Brahma duet, because I know Tanguy, who did the rock videos, he's probably going to be watching this, and yes, you can use this. Again, work is still going on the stitching. I'm hoping at some point to be able to do smoothing between the edges of the stitch. Lots of work still to be done, but it's a start, and I think you make a call on it. But I'd be quite happy with it, especially to put it in. It looks fantastic. You just see a little bit of a stitch where in parts of it you can just see it's moved a little bit. I don't think that's a major thing for most people. But yeah, so there you go. That's got to be about it, really, isn't it? Shall I go away now? Leave you in peace. Thank you very much.